Hi everyone. In the previous video, we have added the documents in our Cloud Firestore, and today in this video, we will read data from Firestore. So for that, we have two approaches. First is get data once. This is similar to an API call. So when you hit the Firebase method, it will return your data. And second approach is real-time updates. So whenever a second user make any changes in the database, you will get the data through an event listener. So in this video, we will cover only the first approach, and for real-time updates, we will cover in the next video. So now let's go to our application. So I have created these fake cards on my dashboard. These are the event cards, and we will fetch our data in these cards. So whenever you add any of the card from here, you will get the data on the dashboard. So let's move to our code base. I have created a mock data and I am iterating it here. So when we get the data from the Firestore, we will update this event data state. So first we have to fetch our events collection. So for that I will call the collection method. We have also used this collection method in the previous video. So first we have to pass the DB reference, and the second parameter is the collection name. So I will pass events here, and I will store the reference in a variable named as const callref. Now for fetching our data, there is one method getDocs that will take the collection reference. So let's call the method getDocs, and this method takes collection reference as a parameter and it returns us a promise. So we will handle the promise by using then, and I am naming this query snapshot. And if any error came, then we will also handle the error. Now let's print the query snapshot. This query snapshot provides us an iterator. So let's iterate the query snapshot, and this query snapshot contains all our documents. So we are iterating this query snapshot with the for each method, and we will get the query. We will console this query. So this query object provides us ID and the data. So for getting the data, we have to call the data method inside the query object, and we will also want the document ID. So query also contains the document ID. So let's check our application console. So we got two documents. This is the document ID and this is our document. So first name is Jazz and the second is Aram. So these two data we have added in our previous video. So now let's open the query snapshot object. So this snapshot contains a docs, and this docs is an array with the size of 2 because our Firestore collection contains only 2 documents. If you add any more document, then the size of array will increase. So for getting this document, we have used the for each method. I know this is much complex for you because query snapshot is an object and we have used the for each method. This is because Firebase defines a query snapshot class that returns us an query snapshot object, that is this query snapshot object, and that particular class contains the for each method. So now let's replace our mock data with the Firestore data. We will talk more about this query snapshot in our next video when we perform the real-time updates. So this query snapshot contains more data, so we will not directly push this query snapshot into our event data. We will create an empty array. Let cloud data is equal to empty array, and we will push our object to this empty array. So now let's push the data. Cloud data dot push, and we will embed this id into a document object. So for that I am using spread operator. I will pass the query dot data, and I will pass the id query dot id. So we are creating a new object and embedding our id into this document data. Now let's push the cloud data into our setter. Set event data to cloud data. So now let's move to our UI. So we are getting our two documents, the jazz and the RM. So let's try to add one more document. Before that I want to clear this fake data, and we will pass an empty array here. Now let's add the data. Event name will be concert. Place will be Dadar. Complete address will be Mumbai, and the time of the event is 8 p.m. Let's click on the submit button. Let's go to our dashboard, and you can see our new data is there. So now you have one question, that how you have got the data here, because we haven't reload the page yet. So this is because you have made the changes in your local. Then how it will be different from real-time updates? So let me answer that question. You have made changes in your local. If you do any of the changes in the database, you will not get the data here. So let's try out that. Let's click on add document, generate auto ID, pass the name, place also is fake, field address fake, and the time will be 4 p.m. Let's save it. So now you see we don't get the data here. So in the real-time updates, when we made any changes in the database, we will also get the data here. So that we will cover in the next video. So till then you can practice this. So that's it from my end. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video.